Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to Ethernal Realms and welcome to your May reading. So on the first of the month itself, we have Pluto going retrograde. It was here in Aquarius directly all throughout April. And now it is going retro, which means we have to look inward and do some personal transformations, and some epiphanies can come through from the deepest recesses of yourself, okay? So look out for changes in humanity as well, or some like internal shifts that is going on a collective level that is going to have ripple effects on you individually as well. For you, it is falling in your house of finances, self-worth, and also like things that you prioritize here. There can be some changes that's going on here. Okay, next we have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. That's on the 5th of the month. And we had an Aries solar eclipse on the 21st of April. So this is kind of the antithesis, or the, opposite side, the other side of the coin that is going to be presented in this eclipse here. So together they create a lot of meaningful change. I've made zodiac specific readings for the previous eclipse, and I will make one for this as well. So stay tuned and check out the previous one, because it gives a lot of context and some predictions as to what is going to play out in the coming 4 to 6 months proceeding from this eclipse energy. Okay, but it does bring about some sort of culmination, and some sort of clarity comes in from the deepest parts of you as well, from the subconscious. Some like clarity comes through that helps you change direction. This can feel especially intuitive to you as well. This information could come through from either your friends or your children as well, if you have them. Or this can be realizations related to creative projects, self-expression, and what you want to produce in the world as a part of humanity as well. Okay. Next we have on the 7th Venus moving into Cancer, and that is going to be in your opposite sign. So there is a good chance of meeting someone here romantically, or forming a very lovely partnership and close friendship as well, who can be kind of the opposites attract dynamic. They are very loving and soothing. They are also go-getting, just like you. Both of you take initiative and so on, but at the same time your approach is a little bit different, so you can see different sides of the world, different perspectives as well. And the 7th house also talks about admiration coming through other people, or other people seeing you as quite attractive, and the blessings that your partner, if you already have one, going through some sort of abundance shift or lifestyle change or personality upgrade, something of that sort, is going to have a positive impact on you as well. And they're also a very supportive influence throughout the month. Next we have on the 15th Mercury going direct. It was retrograde from the 21st of April, and now it's going direct in the middle of the month of May. So plans and promises can go ahead. Some commitments that you've made, some revisions that have taken place while Mercury was retro, can now move ahead and be implemented. And this again falls in your house of romance, dating, children, inner child, creativity, self-expression. Okay, so right the next day we have Jupiter moving into Taurus. So the combination of Mercury and Jupiter brings about a boost, okay? You're starting off with some resources. It's not like you had the idea and now you have to sit on it, you have to wait for some time. None of that. Jupiter brings in the necessary, resource, the materials, equipments, whatever is required for you to pursue your dreams and desires. And same goes for like your children. Some of them could be going off to college, or they are up-leveling or changing the way that they approach the world. Perhaps they are taking care of their finances for the first time ever. You're giving them pocket money or something like that, where you're teaching them some sort of stability and responsibility too, is possible. Now on the 19th, we have the new moon in Taurus. So a lot of Taurus energy going on here, and by this time Sun is as well in Taurus. Lots of focus in that house, the 5th house you have. And with the new moon there can be new seeds you're planting, new intentions you have. It can be taking up a new course, or you're starting a new hobby, discovering a new hobby, and you're just very excited about it. And you can see yourself following through with that for quite some time. You're an earth sign, Taurus is an earth sign, so all of this Taurus season is very harmonious for you in general. Then on the 20th, we have Mars moving into Leo. That would be your 8th house. And this is bringing in a lot of romance and intimacy as well, and also brings in a lot of investments and other blessings that you take initiative towards, and you find yourself establishing something new. The shadow side of this is like greed and excessive pride or overconfidence and things like that. So because it's in your house of shared resources, it can be that someone else is overestimating the amount of finances required, or is not too practical, and it's more about the passions, the heat of the moment, things like that. So be watchful of your finances in general, especially when Pluto is right opposite this particular house and is going retro. It's like we need to take another look at the financial space, or the collective priorities versus your individual priorities, and so on, and have an open discussion with everyone involved. But you are absolutely taking initiative in this area, and the same applies for, if you have some investments already made, you might be thinking about what is next, what needs to be established, so that your security is maintained. If you have some therapy going on, or you want to take up therapy, this would be a nice time as well, where you are making the connections, you're reaching out to the necessary professionals, and you can get someone who resonates with you. On the next day, on the 21st, we have the zodiac season shifting from Taurus to Gemini when the sun moves into Gemini, and that falls in your 6th house of career, lifestyle, routines, and health. Okay, so now the focus is shifting from what you want and what you desire to how you can put that into action, and how you can incorporate that into your everyday life. Does your work allow for this sort of desire to take root? And if not, what compromises or shifts can be made here? Gemini is someone who wants to learn a lot of things, so there can be new techniques and skills that you're acquiring in your workplace or in your everyday life. You're making it a priority to perhaps read more, write more, talk to people, discuss about things, debate on topics, whatever it is that calls out to you. Okay, and we have a couple more aspects sprinkled throughout the month, but I will not get into it over here. I will post about it in my community page. If you're curious, you can check it out. So let's get into your tarot. First card we have here, the oracle of the month, is Joy is the ultimate creator. Of course, we do have all of that activity in the 5th house, which is all about that happiness and joy and what sets you free, what liberates you in that way. The first major highlight is Vulture, which says depression or anxiety, worry that someone is against you. We have Love as the second major highlight. We have the third major highlight as Egg, which says success assured with good plans and hard work. And this is kind of right up your alley. You're a very dedicated being, whichever area of life we're talking about here. If you want something, you are going to go and get it. Okay, but there is this worry that perhaps something might not work your way. You love something too much, or something of that sort, where you have a sort of expectation or obligation to achieve a certain standard, and this can even be like self-created as well. We'll see the cards and see where that lies, but that could be that seems to be the only thing that is bothersome. But this can also be like the internal things that have been suppressed coming up to the surface. So it's better to know about it than, not, because that can then hurt you in a different way. It leads to more toxic patterns and things like that. So let's see what else we have. The good kind. Then we have prosperity, sisters, our happiness and joy. And we have what does your soul say? So very intuitive and introspective. You might be looking at what you actually enjoy doing, what brings your heart joy. There is a level of collaboration, teamwork, and resources kind of working out together as well. So yeah, there can be nice get-togethers with friends, for example, or with siblings. I'm getting for some of you because we have the sisters coming on. But overall, it seems quite nice. Let's see what else we have. The moon Then we have the Two of Wands. And we have the High Priestess. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings, new jobs. And we have the Chariot, which is that Cancerian energy. Okay, so Pisces is coming up twice. So there can be some communication, some intuition that comes towards you, you know, that shows you a possibility. Because the Two of Wands is like, okay, I have a choice. I have something that works for me. I have something that's safe and secure. But then it's not exciting. It's that I'm not getting anything more. I've learned everything I needed to from this space. So my time is up over here in some way. It's just not exciting anymore. But this other option or this other opportunity that has come to my mind is a lot more, not adventurous, but like, it's much more interesting because you get to learn new things and explore new places and gather a lot more new experiences as well. But of course you might be worried that it's too far out of your comfort zone, or it's too new and fresh and you're not very experienced in that space. So you don't really know how you can make do over there. Of course you can, you know, if you set your mind to something, then you absolutely can. But you might be worried that perhaps it might not work out, or it's too far and too far away to be real, to be realized. And, you know, the journey might be way too long. So then you're questioning, is it worth it? Is it worth it? And this can even be in terms of partnerships. Okay, you hit it off with someone, you're having a very nice time, you're enjoying yourself so much, and you know, you understand one another on a very spiritual level as well. You're having good conversations and experiences. Both of you might like to travel, or you're exploring someplace new together, and that just, you know, lights something within you and so on. But then, you know, there's that added complication of they might be somewhere else, or it might be harder to meet them in person as often as you would like to. So then you might be questioning, is it worth it? But the ultimate outcome over here, it seems like, is that you're going ahead with something new over here. Okay, it's a phase, and give yourself the time to think about it and think it through. Of course, it seems like a decision point, and for any decision, you know, you deserve to take your time here. So do that, but trust your intuition in the final moment and go for the thing that creates a sort of purpose within you, whether it is this person or a new job of some type, or some goals that you want to pursue, things like that. Okay, whatever the new thing is that comes through in this month, you're following up on that. In a financial sense, this Ace of Pentacles is really nice because you get some new investment or some seed money, and then you can kind of take chances on that, and you can make something multiply through it. What does your soul say does not come up very lightly, and that paired up with the High Priestess and the Moon implies that you must, and you are trusting your intuition very strongly this month, because it's speaking to you very loud and clear. You might also get some sort of I'm getting one deja vu, but also some dreams where you get some symbolism and you immediately recognize it in your waking time. So it might not be the literal symbolism that you recognize, but that, you know, oh, this is not very safe. Maybe that dream is a warning, you know, something like that, where you have a foreboding, let's say. Let's see, let's clarify the moon, please. Can we clarify the moon for Capricorns in the month of May? Both of these cards, by the way, they indicate that you don't know the full picture yet, and that's why you might need to trust your intuition too. You're having to go on faith or on trust and so on, but you're a practical sign, so that might be a little bit challenging to accept only that. So I think you might stall a little bit on making a choice until a little bit later down the month. Because you're trying to gather some type of practical reassurance or some sort of proof confirmation in that way. The moon, please clarify that for Capricorns in the month of May. Okay, we have the Page of Cups and the High Priestess, please? High Priestess. You might also be following your spiritual path here, doing some soul work and getting very introspective about what you've achieved so far, what you want to be doing next. If you want to be doing something next right away, or you just want to stay in this in-between phase, it's kind of up to you here. So you're making these choices. High Priestess, please, let's clarify. The Capricorns. Okay, what do we have? The Knight of Cups. All right, so both of these are cups related, so I think it's going to talk about your romantic life or your emotional body. Okay, emotional and spiritual body. Trusting your intuition is super, super important in any decision making. I can't emphasize that enough. And for romantic situations, you might be thinking that maybe it's just the high of the initial connections, or maybe it's just very good right now, but you know, everything has its ups and downs, so maybe we're not being very realistic over here. You know, that's the kind of vibe that's going through here. Even with like new hobbies and let's say you're taking a vacation and it's just, you feel on top of the world and you're like, this is just the best and I'm going to feel like this forever. But then at the same time, you're like, well, you know, that's kind of not very realistic. So let's get back down to earth or something of that sort. But you are absolutely focusing on having fun, spending some time taking care of yourself, forming good connections, and spiritually relating with yourself and the divine as well, if that's something you incorporate in your life. And that is kind of leading to some sort of epiphany or opportunity coming towards you too. No matter which side, just know that you don't have the pressure to make the decision right away. Okay, you can, and I think you will take the pressure on yourself, but spiritually speaking, or like from a bigger perspective here, it's okay to take your time. So if you're feeling ambiguous at some points in the month, just go with it, go with the flow, okay? Because the answer will present yourself when it's time. You go through your own methods, you follow up with your own rhythms, you do what makes you feel safe and secure in that moment, feel loved and nurtured and so on, and then just go with it, because things can turn out, you know, anything can happen at any time, quite seriously, right? And there can be this new opportunity that comes in along the journey. For example, you're making this connection and you think that it's not practical, but then this person later lets you know that, hey, by the way, I have an opportunity closer over there, so perhaps we can meet a little bit more if you're interested. But if you already shut the door, you force yourself to make a decision from the get-go, then it might not be possible for that person to make any other moves, right? Same goes in a career sense. If it seems too unrealistic or too far up there, pause on the decision making, at least in the first half of the month, and kind of see where it goes. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's get you astro dice. Capricorns, please, for the month of May. We have Aries, second house, and Jupiter. Okay, you're making some money moves. There is expansion, some bonuses, extra income sources that can come in here. For some of you, this can be 2 income sources, and you might be wondering as to if you can manage both of these things, or how much time do you need to dedicate to one or both of these things, because you're a focused sign. So is Aries, you know, very focused on like one thing. You know, it's not about spreading yourself very thin and exploring many different options. But you know, whatever it is you do well. So you might be looking into, you know, what's important for you and how you can spread everything out. One more, please. The 7th house, Leo, and the North Node. Yeah, this again is about talking about partnerships and your romantic bond, your creative spirit, the way you're talking to each other, discovering about one another. That's very exciting, and I think you're more focused in that way, especially with Venus there. And that is actually a very supportive part of your life in this particular month, and that's bringing in some extra motivation, some clarity that can come in, and so on. You might think that it's like it might not work, or you don't want to talk about it with someone else, you want to deal with it yourself, or whatever the case may be, but it really does help to share something. It can even be that you're sharing your finances for the first time. You might be questioning the authenticity of that. Maybe you're like, I don't know, maybe it's too good to be true. I don't know if I should trust this or not, but trust your intuition, okay? If you can't trust the situation, trust yourself, your own intuition, and move forward with that knowledge. So that's what I have for you, Capricorns. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the reading helps you out. Let me know your thoughts. And if you have requests for personal readings, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box and the comment below. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.